your nation, your province, your southern Alberta. From the heart of Lethbridge, it's Bridge City News Weekend Edition with Jeanette Roche.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Roche, and we are coming to you from the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede. We're going to be giving you an overview of what's been happening here, as well as a look back at what's been going on in Alberta this past week. Now, the festival kicked off in Calgary July 7th with an astronaut leading the way during the legendary Calgary Stampede Parade. Jeremy Hansen became the second astronaut to be honorary parade marshal for the event. Hansen said he sought advice from another astronaut, Chris Hadfield, who had that same honor 10 years ago.
This is pretty special for me. So I have an amazing team of folks behind me at the Canadian Space Agency, and somehow a connection was made and the invitation was extended, and I was absolutely 100%. I would love to do that. Yeah, I did reach out to Chris Hadfield, though, just to get some advice, since he was the parade marshal in 2013, and he said two things: make sure you ride your horse in advance and watch out for the fireworks.
Now, that same day, tens of thousands of people lined the streets of downtown Calgary to take in the parade, where there were floats, classic cars, entertainers, horses, along with cowboys and cowgirls. The Stampede runs through July 16th, featuring a midway, lots of games, food, concerts, and of course, the legendary rodeo, which features a number of events, including bull riding, saddle bronc, bareback, roping, steer wrestling, and barrel racing. That rodeo does run daily at 1:30 p.m. with cowboys and cowgirls competing from all over the world. Total prize money for the rodeo this year is $1.85 million. Wow, that is unbelievable. And later in the show, we are hoping to head out to the rodeo to see what's going on there. But for now, I am joined by Calgary Stampede's Shannon Greer, and she's here to talk to us about some of this year's highlights at the festival. Shannon, thanks so much for having us here on the Stampede grounds. It's been great so far.
It is our pleasure to welcome you. Thanks so much for being here.
Okay, so the show, the Stampede is about to wrap up this weekend, but what have been the major highlights this year?
Well, maybe we should take it from the top. So one of the very first highlights was that we actually set an opening day attendance record with just under 165,000 people. So as you can see around us, we still have so many people coming down to Stampede Park, and we're just so grateful to welcome all of them.
Oh, fantastic. And then in terms of food, any new food vendors?
Oh yes, we have more than 50 new foods. There's been so much debate about which is the best. I've tried quite a few of them.
Okay.
You must try as many as you can. They are absolutely delicious and so much fun.
Okay, what's your favorite?
I think it's actually the pickle pizza. It is very good. We also have a few new ice creams this year. One of them is ketchup and mustard ice cream. So we've had a few different people trying out which one is better. Is it the ketchup? Is it the mustard? It's sweet, it's savory.
Well, Shannon, we're going to definitely try and check out as much of the Stampede today as possible. We'll try to fit it all in. We're going to head over to the Midway later. Thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
We're so happy to have you. Thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Happy Stampede.
Happy Stampede.
I don't know what it is about cowboys and pancakes, but flapjacks seem to go hand in hand with the Stampede. And did you know that a new world pancake record was set right here at the Stampede? Well, it happened last Sunday, July 9th. Officials with the festival say that 17,182 pancakes were served in 8 hours, which is a new Guinness World Record. A judge from Guinness, Brittany Dunn, was in attendance to verify the record. That new number beat the previous record by more than 2,900 flapjacks in just 4 hours. Now that is a lot of flippin' pancakes. Get it? Flippin' because you flipped the never mind. Speaking of pancakes, during the Premier's Pancake Breakfast at Stampede last Monday, Danielle Smith took shots at Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just before she left for the Premier's meeting in Winnipeg. Smith says that Ottawa needs to improve their own areas of jurisdiction and just leave Alberta alone.
I would like for the federal government to focus on their areas of jurisdiction and do it well. How about we see them address the issue of out-of-control monetary policy so that we don't have an inflation crisis any longer? How about they meet their commitments internationally on defense spending so that we can continue to be part of a full partner in the NATO alliance? How about they manage our passport offices and our airports and our port system? And how about they support Indigenous health so that we're dealing with the opioid crisis? They've got lots on their plate in their areas of jurisdiction. They should stop trying to interfere in ours.
Well, we have a lot more from the Stampede coming up after the break. We're going to head over to the Saddle Dome to take in one of Alberta's largest powwows. So don't go away. Welcome back. We are joining you from the Calgary Stampede, the world famous Stampede that is. And as you can see, we have now moved inside to the Saddle Dome. This is where Alberta's largest, possibly Western Canada, possibly even Canada's largest two-day powwow is taking place. And joining me is Cheryl Crow-Chief. She's the powwow organizer. Now, organizing one of Western Canada's largest powwows does not sound like an easy task, not a small feat exactly. How do you do this? How do you pull this off? It's amazing.
Well, I just basically take it one step at a time.
You have to.
But mind you, my steps started way back in March.
Oh, of course.
So planning started back in March.
We've got all different age groups. What's the youngest?
The youngest dancer that we have competing in the competition is 13.
Okay. So what does this do for a youth to be able to come out and dance these beautiful cultural dances?
Well, honestly, because our kids normally grow up from 9 months old, babies, dancing in our families, because it's such a large part of our culture. Because of healing, because of community, because of respect. There's a whole bunch of factors that come into play when we're raising our kids, and powwow is a large part of that.
It must be such a confidence booster too, as well, for these kids.
Oh yeah, I have watched some children come out and dance, and they make the pay window for the first time, and the ecstatic look on their face. The next powwow I see them, the confidence is there strutting around, and it's awesome. It just makes me happy when I see that.
Well, no fair or festival is complete without its midway, and as promised, we made our way over to it. I am joined here by Kyle Russell, who is the Director of Programming of the Calgary Stampede. Kyle, thanks so much for having us here today. We're just having such a great time. Yeah. What's going on this year?
Well, this year we've got a great lineup of concerts. This weekend you can check out Mother Mother on the Coca-Cola stage, or Tennille Arts at Nashville North. We also have Zed's Dead and an EDM mix bill on Saturday night at the Coca-Cola stage, or Coffee. Of course, the Bell Grandstand show is a true highlight. We always say that that's a 65-minute Super Bowl halftime show. Features our fireworks spectacular at the end of the night as well.
Yeah, every time. And you know what? The Grandstand show is always one of my favorite parts of Stampede. What about food?
Oh, my favorite food, I'm a big hot dog guy. There's a $100 hot dog here that is quite unique. Yeah, it's marinated in some very, very exquisite red wine before the hot dog is cooked. So it's something you're not going to find anywhere else.
You're speaking my language. Speaking of food, I think that the guys have found some interesting culinary cuisine there somewhere in the midway. Guys, what have you found to eat?
Well, thank you, Jeanette. Last year was all about the mac and cheese. It was mac and cheese mania. Totally. Michael, you had what did you have last year?
It was the Kevin Bacon mac and cheese.
And I had mac and cheese ice cream. Yeah. It was kind of weird to try. I got overly excited about it.
This is mac and cheese soft serve. This is a thing here at the Calgary Stampede. Look behind me.
Yeah, no idea why, but
the atmosphere.
Maybe, but this time I'm trying a different type of ice cream. Yeah. This is mustard ice cream. And if you look really close, there's mustard on the edges of this cone. And I'm going to try it really fast because this is melting. Now, survey says it kind of does have that mustard flavor to it. Okay. I do kind of want to dip a wiener in it. Which is weird, but I have weird tastes. Like I'm I'm the kind of person that would want to dip French fries in ice cream, but not bad, but it's not something that I would go out of my way and find in the store.
Now, to be fair, there is a plethora of culinary choices here at the Stampede. It was really hard for us to narrow it down. I went for the unusual sounding cotton candy burrito. So this is more cotton candy than burrito. And if you'll notice, chocolate chip cookie dough in the middle. I think one of the ways we could classify the food here that we've chosen is on a scale of how many hours on the treadmill.
Fair enough. Why don't you give it a try?
Okay, well, cotton candy, always a winner.
Cheers.
Does not taste like a burrito, but it's good.
Do you want some mustard with that cotton candy?
Oh, probably. All right, Jeanette, back to you.
Well, that was a bit much, you guys. I'm glad it was you trying that and not me. I'm not as adventurous as you. Hey, do you like magic? When we return, we'll be coming to you from the Stampede's fabulous Stage of Wonders. Don't disappear. Keep it right here. See what I did there? Welcome back from the Calgary Stampede, and as promised, I am here at the Stage of Wonders inside the BMO Center. Now, what is the Stage of Wonders, you ask? Well, I'm here joined by a couple of folks here that can tell us exactly what Stage of Wonders is. This is Aaron and Caroline Matthews, and you are magicians, illusionists?
Oh yeah, you got it. We are here doing 3 shows a day at the Stage of Wonders. We actually got 2 great shows here. There's an amazing acrobat show called Soar, and we are doing a big magic show. We have illusions, we got animals, we got close-up magic, we got it all.
Like real animals or balloon animals?
Oh, you'll have to come to the show to find out.
Okay, so you two are a couple.
Yes.
Okay, I love that. Did the union happen after working together or before? Such a personal question. Okay.
After. So we actually met through his dad. His dad is Doo-Doo the Clown.
Doo-Doo the Clown?
Yeah. So we met through his dad and then fell in love with a magician, and now here I am living. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so tell me about your show. What can the audience expect when they come to the Stage of Wonders?
We didn't want everyone just to be sitting down. We know everyone's here at the Stampede to have the best day of the entire summer. So we wanted to make this show very interactive. So we're asking the crowd, to interact with us, to help us make the magic happen. We even bring all of the kids up to the stage at a point. We wanted to make this show feel really personal and really magical.
Okay, great. Does he saw you in half or anything like that?
He does, but not in this show.
Okay. I was going to ask, you're not going to saw me in half, are you?
No, but we do have duct tape backstage just in case.
Just in case you can't put me back together. Yeah, okay. Are you going to show us what you guys, show us a little magic?
Yeah.
Are you going to do a trick on me or how
you can help me out.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to show you something that you don't get to see here in the show, a little bonus trick for everyone tuning in today. So what we have is a hole punch card right over here. Watch the holes very carefully. We're going to take one. We're going to put it right up over there. And can you show me the magic? Wiggle your fingers just like that. We're going to get this hole in the top to move right over to the side. And we got one last one over here. Boop. One more time, wiggle your fingers for me. And just like that, they are right back to where they started. That was you.
Nah, I don't know. That's crazy. Did you guys see those holes move? That's crazy. Amazing. How do you do that? I know you don't want to share your secrets.
Well, the secret is believing. When you believe and you do what you love, everything becomes magic. What we love is performing this show. For all the amazing families that have been here, the crowds have been electric. We had crowds waiting like 2 hours to get into the show. Right. We've been having the best time. So every single day and every second here at the Stampede has felt like magic.
Anything else? Who is this? What is this?
This is my little buddy. His name is Mr. Hank. He's taking a little nap right now.
Okay.
Oh, there you are. Good morning, buddy. You're so cute.
He looks like a little ghost.
Oh, he's so sweet. He's very fluffy and very soft. Okay. Some magicians have bunny rabbits, but the hanky is way more well-behaved and costs a whole lot less to feed. Yeah.
And I believe the show has acrobats as well, right? Like grand, what are they called? The aerial?
Yes.
So like Cirque du Soleil almost.
Oh, it is amazing. These acrobats are incredible. So they have 2 shows a day. Their show is called Soar, right over here on the Stage of Wonders. You're going to want to check them out as well. Our show's called the Grand Illusion Show. So there's 2 totally unique shows here. Perfect for all ages. The adults are going to love it. The kids are going to love it. So please make sure to come down and check out both of the shows.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, Erin and Caroline Matthews, I don't know where she went. You made her disappear. Look at that. Just like the dots on the card, you made Caroline disappear. Where'd she go? Maybe she's with Mr. Hanky. I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know. Thanks so much for letting us come on stage with you here and showing us your little trick there.
My pleasure. Hope to see you all here at the Stampede.
This is River. River, there you go. Say hi to the crowd here. Really, the chucks and the rodeo, that is what Stampede is all about. That's why it exists in the first place. I'm going to head over to Michael Clausen, who is speaking with one of the chuck wagon drivers now. Michael, who do you have there?
Thank you, Jeanette. Well, the party continues here at the Chuck Wagon Barns. It's a flurry of activity. Fortunately, Tyler DeSuter, he is an outrider with the Chuck Wagon team. He had time to fit us in, talk a little bit about the sport. Thanks for joining us, Tyler. Talk to me about how you personally, as an outrider, would prepare your horse.
So usually we got a really good barn crew, so they'll make sure they're washed and their feed, like they'll eat 3 times a day and exercise. And but before the race, we'll get them, and we just try to be calm, cool, and collected. If you're calm and cool, they're gonna go out and do their job, and you just got to do yours. So you just try to be the best version of yourself for them, and usually they'll give you return the favor.
Right, horses are really amazing animals. Can you talk about maybe even the personality of the different horses?
Yeah, so it's just like anything. Like it's just like meeting a group of people. Like every horse is different. Every horse has a story, and it's got a different personality. So you just gotta adapt and really listen and like focus on your horse and know what he's trying to tell you.
Well, that was so much fun talking to those two. We do need to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to be speaking to the artist behind this year's Calgary Stampede poster. Still here at the Calgary Stampede inside the Western Oasis in the BMO Center. And let me tell you, if you have not seen this year's Calgary Stampede poster, the official poster, you need to feast your eyes on this gorgeous piece of art. And I'm actually joined by the artist here. This is Brooklyn Payne. Brooklyn, I want to know what inspired this. This is an oil painting, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. The inspiration comes from being in a youth program such as the poster competition, and also meeting the show riders, which is also a youth program, as well as being really inspired by their chaps because they're so dramatic, and I wanted to paint those.
Totally are. They're absolutely gorgeous. Tell me about the contest. So you submitted it. Was it your first time entering the poster contest?
This was my 5th entry. So every year I reapplied, and this was the year.
This was the year. This is your year. So this is the official poster. It's fabulous. Did you win anything other than just the glory of saying that you have the poster?
First place is a $10,000 scholarship.
You got a $10,000 scholarship.
Yeah.
What are you going to apply it towards?
I want to continue some more education and go back for a master's or something like that. So that's the goal, yeah.
Oh, 100%. So do you have a bachelor's already?
I have a BFA, so I want to go back for it.
Fine arts.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and go back for your master's. We're going to head over to the other side of the room, and I believe Michael Clausen has found us another artist to speak to. Michael, who are you standing there with?
Well, thank you, Jeanette. I found all of this wonderful, wonderful art, and then I found Karen Coe from Lethbridge. Can you imagine that? You've been coming here for what? How many years?
My first year was in 2008 with the Calgary Stampede Art Auction, and I got my first booth in 5 years ago now. So
wow, and the rest is history. So, first off, feedback from people. Obviously, you must get some crowds, some people that come back every year and talk to you.
Yeah, we get a steady influx of clients and new faces every year, and this year has been fantastic. It's been super busy, so yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this picture behind you, which is also the cover of Western Horse.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this piece of art, because it's really engaging.
Yeah, so this piece is actually my best friend. We've been childhood friends forever. So we did a photo shoot. I'm not much of a photographer, but we did go outside, and that's my dog. But the photos didn't turn out. So we ended up going indoor, redoing the photo shoot inside. So it was probably one of my most challenging pieces. I was chasing my dog around with a flashlight and trying to get the lighting right. And so it was really just a matter of coming up with, getting the lighting perfect, and then the background just kind of went in.
Talk to me about what's in it for you. What do you get out of art?
Well, my passion is horses, even though my booth actually doesn't have a lot of horses this year. But animals, horses, it allows me to combine my passion for that with my passion for art. Yeah. So I'm sort of living every day, not working, but doing what I love.
Well, and enjoying it and being fulfilled all at the same time. And I gotta say, those of us that love horses, they're just a larger version of a dog.
Yes.
So moving on from this great photo, it's also the cover of Western Horses we already talked about. Can you talk a little bit about this magazine or this work?
Yeah, you bet. So Jennifer Webster, who's the owner and publisher of Western Horse Review, she's been fantastic. We've worked quite a bit together. We worked on the S's for Stampede children's book 3 years ago, which is available. And so that was a neat project. So as soon as I heard about the magazine being distributed, I called her up and I said, hey, how do we do this? So that's sort of where we collaborated and discussed what needed to be on the cover and kind of went from there.
Right. And so we actually have S's for Stampede. That's very stylish.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm sensing a theme from your work, Western.
Yes.
Can you talk about how that came to be?
Yeah, so I've been a bit of a horse addict my entire life. So I obviously painting what I love. All animals really, but horses are my thing. So
kind of your muse, maybe.
Yeah.
So can you talk, seeing as how I'm holding S's for Stampede, and it has to do with children, can you talk about that next generation of artists and maybe how your work can inspire younger people?
Yeah, I mean, I think just following your passion, and I love speaking with kids, and I've done a few classes even, and I think hearing my story too. If it's something that you're really passionate about, don't give up. I mean, it's something that you can pursue and do as a career, and it's exciting when you can do something you love.
We need to take a quick break, but we'll have more from the Calgary Stampede when we return. Welcome back. From one big summer event to another, down in Lethbridge, officials with the Lethbridge International Air Show say that they are looking for volunteers for the end of the month 2-day show. Around 125 to 150 volunteers are needed, which could include those helping out with security or looking after chalets. Dallas Hardy, president of the Air Show, talks about the importance of having those helping hands.
A 2-day show running from basically 8 a.m. in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. You need quite an array of volunteers, and without the volunteers, obviously we couldn't do the show. The volunteers are a huge part of this, and right now our biggest need for volunteers is for setup. We actually start setting up at the airport on the 24th, and we need some help from volunteers for setting up fence, moving our equipment onto airside.
The air show will run on July 29th and 30th at the Lethbridge Airport. Well, an Australian man is doing the near impossible, and all through the power of 2 wheels. Michael Whitty has embarked on a cross-Canada trip to visit Commonwealth war grave sites across our country. What's even more spectacular is that he's made it his goal to visit the 25,630 cemetery sites around the world. BCN's Micah Quinn caught up with Whitty near Bow Island, Alberta, to hear his incredible story.
Come on, take over.
Around 10 years ago, Michael Whitty was going through hard times, dealing with being homeless and sleeping rough through the Welsh winter. He then rediscovered his grandfather's 1916 war diary, which helped spark the idea to go on the global bike trip. After that, the Australian began his adventure in November of 2015 and says he will wrap up his expedition by August of 2045.
I hope to still be alive at 80. So if I wasn't doing this, you have to fill your time doing something. So if people are amazed that I plan to be cycling around the world for the next 20, 30 years, like all of us, we've got to do something.
Whitty says he considers it a great honor to pay tribute to veterans who laid down their lives for the freedoms we all enjoy today.
I always, in the back of my mind, and they may never have been visited in the last 60 or 80 years that they've been lying there. I'm photographing every Australian soldier's headstone individually. So for my map of the cemeteries I'm visiting, I'm taking a photograph of my bicycle and at least one of the headstones.
To follow the Australian's progress, you can check out his Facebook page. For Bridge City News, I'm Micah Quinn.
See you later, buddy.
Well, it's certainly the time of year for tons of events, and motorcycle riders and classic car enthusiasts in southern Alberta will not be left off the list. They'll be going for a cruise as part of the Ride for Dad fundraiser on July the 22nd. The event is raising awareness and funds for prostate cancer research. The goal this year is to raise $20,000. Here once again is video journalist Micah Quinn with the story.
So this year we're hoping to have, like I said, about 50 riders and then about 20 classic cars we anticipate are going to be there.
Mark Anderson, one of the members for the Ride for Dad event, highlighted the routes that each motorcycle and classic car will be taking.
The motorcycles have a ride of about 250 kilometers through Tabor, Hayes, Enchant, and then ending in Coaldale. And then the guys with hot rods and classic cars have the option to either just participate in the show and shine or to do a shortened ride to Tabor and back and then join the show and shine again.
According to the Canadian Cancer Society, on average, 67 men in our country will be diagnosed with prostate cancer every day.
Early detection of prostate cancer in men is so important because it's a slow-growing cancer. There's not a lot of symptoms that go along with it until it's to the point where it's kind of too late. So if we can get people tested early and we get them treated early, it's one of the most survivable cancers. So we don't have to lose our fathers or brothers or ourselves to something that's very treatable in its early stages.
Since 2000, the Ride for Dad initiative has raised over $37 million for the Prostate Cancer Fight Foundation. For more information on the upcoming event, you can visit ridefordad.ca and look for the Southern Alberta Coaldale Group. For Bridge City News, I'm Micah Quinn.
Well, we've been having so much fun here at the Calgary Stampede, but unfortunately, our time here has come to an end. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the greatest outdoor show on earth. I know that we sure had a great time being out here. After the break, though, we head back to the studio for an interview with the organizer of a group advocating for Canadians who don't always feel represented by decisions coming out of Ottawa. That's next. Keep it right here.